Tell me what you've gotten out of the festival so far. What have you learned?
This is the first time I've been here, and what I have seen is really great integrated brand building creativity. And what it has shown is that the best work, the work that's getting awarded the most, and the work that I find the most inspiring, is that work that is truly engaging consumers into the brand experience and really surrounding them and connecting with them at every touch point. So what you see is great ideas that have PR up to an event which creates buzz and excitement, post PR, digital that feeds in and creates content around it, and then surrounded by your traditional TV and print media. And there's some great examples of that I think are really coming through that have been very inspiring for us.
What is the most innovative campaign you've seen so far?
Well, I saw one really interesting one that I thought was very innovative. It was actually for road safety in Japan. What they had was they built a road on a big highway, a key highway, and they put grooves into the pavement that then sang a song. So what you had to do is you had to drive 40 miles an hour over this road for the song to happen. So consumers literally would engage in that. Now, they had the highest traffic that they've ever had on the road. They had PR talking about what they were doing. They had digital feeds talking about what they were doing. They had a lot of coverage on things, and so and then they of course had a safe driving campaign around that thing. It was a very, very innovative way of creating a brand experience around road safety of all things.
You talked about integration and how prevalent it is here in Cannes this year. Where have you seen the greatest successes in P&G's advertising?
Yeah, there's one example that I'm particularly proud of, and that is on Gillette. Gillette, of course, blades and razors, Fusion razor, is targeted to men. And men have to shave. Some of them like shaving. But what men really like is games. And so what we did is we partnered with Xbox and EA Sports to create a gaming tournament called the Gillette Fusion Gamer. This gaming tournament then had guys who could play games online, and what they would do is play, the ultimate prize was to be able to play your game versus Tiger Woods, Luke Nadal, Roger Federer, or Derek Jeter in their sport. And of course those guys are the Gillette champions who are our spokespeople. This tournament, virtual tournament, had 350,000 participants in 26 countries. Of course, had an amazing amount of PR coming up to it, amazing amount of PR coming back from it. We had a 30-minute Spike TV show on it. We created commercials for it. We created a special Fusion Gamer razor for it. And it was pretty amazing because it built the business by more than double digits, and it had 650 million impressions, which is more than the original Fusion worldwide launch. So that was a great example of really integrated brand building creativity that brought it all together, engaged the consumer in the brand experience, and built a business.
We've seen P&G win some awards already this week for Pringles and for Always.
Yep.
How important are creative awards to you?
Creative awards are really important to me and to P&G in general. And the reason why is that we have a fairly clear philosophy on award. Recognition is something that people really get energized by. Because you get energized when you get to see your great program be viewed by others as being the best. It's also inspiring because it inspires people to try new things and to look at other ways in which they can innovate. It also unites people because it unites the team that come together. And you know what? It shows what you think is important. And so what we view is that winning awards at Cannes, especially for the integrated type of activity we're getting, that's important right now.
How has your messaging to consumers changed in this economic time?
Yeah, our messaging, when the recession hit, we kind of view the recession as an opportunity. It's kind of an opportunity to reset, recalibrate, and reframe. And one of the things that consumers are telling us is that we needed to help them understand how our brands were a great value, and how they were valuable to them. Because our brands, our purpose in our company is to touch lives and improve life with our brands. And when consumers are telling us, well, right now, you can improve our life with some great value. So we reframed how the consumer thought about the brand. Good example is Olay. Olay is fairly expensive as a mass brand, and we have products that range anywhere from $10 to $40. Consumers were telling us they liked the anti-aging benefit, but they didn't want to pay the amount of money that we have. We worked with Good Housekeeping, actually with magazines around in every region, to do a study, and the study that they did indicated that Olay, Regenerist in particular, was better than really virtually all of the department store offerings, some of which were as high as $300 to $700. So what we did is we reframed it for them. We said, you can get the same benefit from Olay Regenerist for under $30 that you could for some of these department store creams that are $700. It built the business pretty quickly. We've done some other things with changing our messaging. In fact, we did an award to be able to get people to focus on great value. And we did one in the Philippines, which was called Downy for Free. The problem in the Philippines is that it's a very poor country, and many of the people who do their clothes, they do it in hand washing. And we did some insight work and found that consumers said, I really would like Downy, which is a fabric softener, but it's an extra step and it's an extra cost, and I'm trying to put food on the table and I'm standing in line for rice, so I can't afford this as much as I would love to do that. So what we did is we reframed it for them so we can have Downy for free, because when you rinse with Downy, you only need to rinse one time, and when you rinse one time, you save water, and you can save so much water, you can save 50p a month, and that basically makes Downy for free. And right now, they're ironing. They don't even need to iron anymore. They can just let it dry, and they can literally press their hand across there and get the wrinkles. And our brand is really more valuable for them in their lives.
You've also introduced a new brand agency program, leader program, a couple of years ago. Where have you seen it have the greatest effect?
Well, what we've done, the overall thought behind many of the things we're doing, and brand agency leadership is one of them, is about integration. So we've been integrating how we organize, and we've got brand franchise leaders that integrate all of the different disciplines. And then what we wanted to do is get integrated communications. And so that's how we've organized in brand agency leadership. So we get a key point person who really coordinates and leads all of the various agencies. We've already seen some great work on that. Pringles, for example, is one. And one of the awards last night was actually a digital award, but surrounded by other activities from other different agencies. And I'd like to say, I think that this has helped. We've also seen some great work from oral care, particularly Oral-B has launched their Oral-B Pro Health and their Pulsonic launch, which I've seen much better integrated ideas. Because what we used to do is we used to go brief every agency separately, and then we would try to bring it together. That takes a lot of time, takes a lot of effort. Instead, we brief everybody at the same time. They come to us with one integrated idea, a lot more speed, a lot more really holistic and synergistic communications. Now, well, one of the ones that really excites me is taking the whole integrated brand building to the next level. And it's starting to really a culmination of a number of different things. As I said before, we've taken brand franchise leadership, where we really put single brand, global brand franchise leaders in charge of brands on a global basis, integrating all of the different disciplines. And that's got about 50% coverage now. Brand agency leadership, about 30% coverage of our business. Brand operations, about 70% coverage. So it's integrated activities. We've now integrated marketing, market research, design, and public relations together into one organization. I'm excited about taking that to the next level. I'm particularly excited about it because of what I've seen here. As I've seen that the industry is absolutely moving forward, taking this whole recession as an opportunity for us to reset and recalibrate, and now we're going forward in terms of bringing it all together, and I think moving into a new future in terms of integrated brand building, so we can touch more consumers' lives and improve more consumers' lives around the world. Advertising, I guess I would say communications. First of all, I would call it communications. I believe that communications really does have the opportunity to improve people's lives. Because what communications can do is they can make you part of a broader experience, and make you part of a brand experience. They not only can touch you in terms of how we might be able to convey a message to you, but what they also, and what I see in the future, or what we're doing now, is that it allows you to connect with people because you can participate in it. So it's become a much more of a two-way dialogue, and now I think even a community discussion. So I think communications really can bring people together in terms of creating a great brand experience.